This first series of videos, we're looking at elbow pain. Now, this is a common complaint that I see with jiu-jitsu practitioners, and it can happen on either the inside of the elbow here, this one is commonly called golfer's elbow, or on the outside of the elbow, that's called tennis elbow. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about the causes of that as we go along and what we're actually doing. But this series of exercises will deal with both of those because we're going to work both sides of the forearm at the same time. Okay. So for this first series of exercises, you'll need a few props. I've got a bench here, a chair will do as well. I've got a tennis ball, some rubber bands. You can get special rubber bands for this, but any kind of elastic band you can improvise with. And I've got some stretchy TheraBand. This is a green one. You can get, it comes in different tensions. You can experiment with different strengths, but we'll come to that in a little bit. So, the first thing we're going to start by doing. So the first thing we're going to start by doing is just doing a bit of work into the muscles of the forearm. So, I'm going to place the forearm on the bench. And using my other elbow, I'm just going to work into the muscles. As I do that, I stretch the fingers out. So I'm going to pin and then stretch. Pin and stretch. As you go down, you'll find that there are some points that are more tender than others. Points that are a little bit sore. You want to work into those a little bit more. None of this should be really painful. And then I'm going to work my way all the way down. We're going to go back to the beginning, we're going to do that again. So it's important to remember that none of this is a substitute for medical advice. If you're getting pain, I do highly recommend that you see a doctor or other medical practitioner. And these exercises are things that you can use in conjunction with any advice that you get. But it's important to start from a good diagnosis so that we know what we're dealing with. Okay, we've done that a couple of times. I'm going to turn the forearm over. I'm going to work down the back of the forearm with my elbow. And this time, I'm going to make a fist. So I'm going to pin the muscle, I'm going to make a fist. You should be able to feel that muscle pulling under the elbow, under the pressure in the other hand. Work my way down. Yeah, it's okay to spend a little bit more time at any points that feel like they're a little bit sore, a little bit uncomfortable, but it should be a good kind of discomfort. Now, if you've got a very reactive sort of elbow pain, so it's quite intense, then this may be, you may have to press quite lightly at first, and then you can gradually increase that as it becomes a little bit less sensitive. But do listen to your body. With all of this, make sure that you're paying attention to the signals you're getting from your body. Okay. Now, with all of this, I'm just going to focus on the one arm. You may want to do it on both arms. That's absolutely fine. I do recommend doing a little bit of work on the other arm, even if it's completely healthy. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use a bit of TheraBand. I'm going to pin it under my opposite knee. Now, we're going to work both sides of the arm with this. Depending on whether the pain's on the inside or the outside of the forearm, you might get pain in a different place and with different positions. Okay, so what we're going to do is hold the TheraBand. I'm just going to put a little bit of tension on the band. I can adjust the position of my arm slightly, and I want the point where I can just about feel there's a bit of discomfort here, but it's not really painful. Okay, so if I need to take some tension off, if it's particularly sensitive, so I don't want to stress it too much at this stage. I just want to be able to feel that. Okay, and I'm going to hold that for quite a long time. We're going to look at about 20 to 30 seconds each time. Okay, If you find that the pain is getting worse as you hold it, you may need to cut this a little bit shorter to start with in the early stages. We can build